of Pony Sports on VAC TV is supported by Joseph's Restaurant.
For three, you betcha. You were looking for five, and she's got
diving
it.
save.
Liza Carlin for three.
And it's going to be Bloomquist. What a save! 15, 10, 5. Lago looking to go all the way. She scores.
Dejarnik with the block.
Kashuk's got him down. That's how you do it. There's a fire, and he just picked his spot. Centering pass, scores!
A warm fall evening at Pony Stadium is the preface for an epic Suburban East showdown in high school soccer. The boys will go first in this doubleheader. The Eastridge Raptors and the Stillwater Ponies. Neither team has lost a game, but the Raptors hold first place in the Suburban East. A win for Stillwater would move them into the top spot. I'm Mike Peden alongside the ambassador, Don Ackerman. And Don, these two teams historically play each other. We got the anthem rolling, so we'll talk more about that in a moment.
Yep.
As you could see on our field cam and some of the other angles, it is a windy evening, Don, just like the last time we were here. How will the wind play a factor?
Wind definitely plays a factor in your deep balls and if you're trying to be more aggressive. So I think we'll have to watch for that and see how that affects it.
These two teams played each other in the section final. Up until last year, it often was Stillwater and Eastridge who would face off. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to this live broadcast brought to you by Joseph's Restaurant and Bar, and that goes for everyone watching on Channel 15 locally, on Facebook and YouTube. We'll see if we can get 1,000+ viewers like we did for swimming. Tell your friends, family members, relatives from alternate dimensions.
Yeah, you can attend the games yourself in person as long as you keep your distance while you're at the stadium, but you're certainly welcome to enjoy it from home as well, or wherever you're located, since we're streaming everywhere, it seems.
Eastridge 3-1-0, so we do have to issue a minor correction. Stillwater the only team not to lose in the Suburban East Conference this season, but Eastridge holding first place because they have the extra win. Raptors coming off a 1-0 loss to their crosstown rival Woodbury. That's the team Stillwater will play on Thursday. The Ponies are coming off a 7-0 win over Irondale. They had draws against Forest Lake and Mounds View, 2-2 and 1-1 respectively, and opened the season with a 4-0 win over Roseville.
We're good.
Nice pass backwards there.
Eastridge getting the clearance. This is number 8, Ariane Lagravere. We're doing the best we can with pronunciations. It's been an adventure this season. A tackle between a couple of players.
Well, no change of possession, so I think that may have influenced the refereeing.
Yeah, that was number 16 who took a tumble.
Yeah, it seems like he got pushed in the back, but he was also expecting the contact.
And you can hear that wind. on our mics.
Yeah. Also hear the chatter, too. I love hearing the chatter. I hate talking over it sometimes.
Just better have that bleep button ready, as we've discovered with the NFL and NBA.
Yes.
In games without spectators.
Yeah, that is one thing that you can hear the guys saying all kinds of things which are probably not even appropriate, let alone legal on television. It's pretty amazing.
Every sports league.
Ooh, nice ball.
And the same for the college game. Well, even the high school game, you get some adult language in there too, but Stillwater trying to establish some pressure on the offensive side. And they'll reset here.
Yeah, so far they're dominating the possession, and they're able to pass the ball as well. Looking for a way to break through.
Stillwater got off to a similar start in the game against Mounds View. Then the Mustangs took control for a while. It wasn't until late.
Ooh.
When the Ponies, on the 77th minute, Carson Arco scored the goal that saved them from a loss. Mounds View was up. Foul on the Raptors. Ponies ball. And that is Matt Folden, who leads the team in scoring. As I was going to say, it's been an adventure in the research department. The High School League rolled out a new website. Not all the rosters and coaching information has been posted. Great free kick.
Set up the header perfectly.
Just a little off the mark, but as you know, Don, soccer, a really tough sport. You have to be pinpoint with those passes.
Yes.
And it's difficult to do with a moving ball, everyone in motion. It's not like American football where you run routes.
Right. And you know, the best thing in a way is the strategy on defense, because if you don't time your run correctly like number 16 did on that play, all you have to do is to have the defender drop, and then suddenly you're off sides, and the great kick is irrelevant.
So a lot of strategy involved. Eastridge taking over here. This is number 7, Cam Core on the throw-in. There are 3 red jerseys surrounding his target and a high lob that will go out of play. Goal kick for the Ponies. So
Hager had some space but couldn't do anything with it because he couldn't get the ball.
That's true. I was going to say, the High School League rolled out a new website, so all of the data that we are accustomed to accessing are still coming in. The Hub, which is run by Sports Engine, partnered up with the Star Tribune, also a work in progress.
Ooh.
This is the most unusual of seasons. As you know, football and volleyball postponed to the spring.
Yep. And obviously they're going to want those sites running for football, which is generally a high interest sport.
Well, and so is volleyball.
And volleyball, yep.
No, these are trying times, but everyone's trying to make it work. Eastridge will take over, 34-30, early going. And if you didn't join us for the Mounds View doubleheader that we broadcast a week and a half ago, the plan for now is to hold a conference tournament. No word yet on any section or state playoff events. Of course, it's more difficult to put in a bubble like you do or like you see with the pro leagues. You know, you can't keep these players away from their homes. Here's Stillwater. That's Gora trying to make some moves, and he will be a focal point on the offensive side for Stillwater. The Ponies tried to get him involved against Mounds View, and the Mustangs were able to key in on him. But if Gora can find some space, he could make his mark. He has a couple goals already this season. Took part in a Minnesota United development program last year, so he couldn't play for the Ponies. United suspended that program, so Gora came back to Stillwater.
I'm sure they're happy to have him back, and I hope he's enjoying his time being a Pony.
Well, Jake Smothers told me it was one of those fortunately, unfortunately situations, because the United program was part of a USA Soccer initiative. You know, and it's not too often you get that kind of opportunity at a young age, but you know, fortunately you get one of your top players from the state championship team 2 years ago back in your fold. Eastridge trying to make some moves. Ariane LeGravier keep an eye out for him if Eastridge gets an opening. Foul on the Raptors. Free kick coming up for the Ponies.
Yeah, they finally called that foul that happened again. I guess you can't do it to the same guy twice. But so far, the Raptors' defense has been pretty good. Stillwater's able to bring it down the field, but always one or two players, at least two players on every single Pony that gets down the field once they get below the mid-third.
Well, Matt Folden, he's delivered a couple of spot-on free kicks. That's something to monitor as this game moves along. If he can maintain that accuracy.
Yeah, the wind feels like it's died down a little bit. You see the flag on the close side of us barely moving. The one on the cross field from us is moving a little bit more. Ooh.
And Stillwater is kicking into the wind.
Right.
For the first half here. And if this is anything like our last broadcast, the wind will probably die down by the time we get to the girls' game. Usually the wind settles once sun sets.
Fun facts with Mike right there. Yeah, he does sports and weather.
Well, I was a meteorology buff in elementary school. Wanted to be a meteorologist before I found a home with sports, and that's going to be a foul on Stillwater.
Good aggressive play, though, by the Ponies. Probably just too aggressive.
Stillwater coming out with a lot of aggression.
Oh, nice. Tagged the guy. The guy with the foul got tagged in the back. That's hilarious. Gorgar gets kicked with the ball as a reward for his aggressive play. It looked very unintentional. I'm almost surprised though the ref didn't come over and say, hey, don't do that again.
And as you can see with this delay, as number 5, Jihoon Yu, goes back. No ball, kids. Players have to retrieve loose balls now, or balls that go out of play.
Yeah, occasionally you can get the coaches to help too.
Well, all of it, again, related to the pandemic, I presume.
Yep.
So no ball, kids. One ball at a time, trying to limit containment risks as much as possible. So that could play into strategy late in the first half, second half, especially if you're up 1-0, 2-0. You know, you might
just let it rip.
Just let it rip and pass the gate, and let the other team go get it.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, you're going back to the schoolyard rules, right? Where if you get a little winded, best thing you can do is kick it out of bounds with a little distance, so you get a break.
Well, more importantly, you can run time off the clock.
Yeah, except I think in this case, the person who kicks it out of bounds doesn't have to go get it. That's usually the schoolyard rule, right? Like, if you're going to do that, dude, you're going to go get it. Like, you're not making me run. So then you don't get a break. But if someone else is going to get it for you, you can take advantage of it, like you said, Mike.
Another Eastridge foul. Another chance for Matt Folden to set something up with a free kick. Lets it fly. This time Michael Lundquist gets a header on it. Sends it out of play, so a throw will be coming up.
That works really well to the Ponies' advantage. Gives them a nice throw in. Oh.
And it appears we're going to have our first corner. I see Riley Buxell retrieving the ball, and he will trot over to the corner spot. So this will be the first corner for the Ponies. Stillwater, they've come close on a couple of set pieces already on free kicks from Matt Folden. Let's see if Riley Buxel can make something happen. To the middle, was looking for Arco. Almost had him. Got it in the vicinity. Ball just ricocheted around a couple of players. So once again, Stillwater, their set pieces are right there. All it will take is one good pass and Stillwater could find themselves with a golden scoring chance.
Yeah, I can't help but notice, you've got Stillwater in the red and black, almost like the German soccer team that I follow, and a lot of times they're very methodical.
Well, speaking of methodical, that was a nice play by the Ponies. It went wide left, but that's a good ball for number 7.
Yeah, they just set that up perfectly, and so far the field really seems slanted in Stillwater's favor. Even though they're going into the wind, it's not causing them any problems. But it seems like they're just looking to pick their spots, working their way in, and they've got guys who will set them up, which is great.
And this Eastridge team, now it's a little tougher to gauge their performances this year because they're only playing conference schedules, and the larger conferences are doing that again to limit travel.
Sure.
How much of an effect that has, I don't know, but again, with the limit on the number of games teams can have this year, the Suburban East, I believe, felt it was easier just to have a conference-only schedule and then have a conference tournament. Stillwater looking for the takeaway. This is number 9, Carson Arco.
Oh, he did get it.
Play.
He's trying to get his opponent, Ravikumar, to kick it out of bounds, and he got exactly what he wanted. But he was wise to what was happening.
Throw into the middle.
Trying to set up that header.
Eastridge looking for the clearance, and they will get it. Josh Tong, well, thought he had it for a moment. Stillwater with another takeaway. Loose ball, header,
yes.
Goal! A turnover on Eastridge's side of the field turns into a big point for the Ponies.
Najafi put both his hands on his head thinking, oh, I can't believe he got that.
And Stillwater takes a 1-0 lead in the 15th minute.
They were just looking to set him up.
Entering this game, this was a battle of top 10 teams. Stillwater 7, Eastridge 10. In the 2A rankings. Now again, with no non-conference games to draw from, that's often where you get more of those big ranking battles like Wayzata and St. Paul Central from past years, Lakeville North another one. It's a little harder to effectively gauge the rankings, but still, this is a top 10 battle. We're waiting for a confirmation on the goal because number 16 wasn't listed on the roster we have. Again, names and numbers have been a little slow to come by this fall, but everyone doing the best they can.
I did hear the announcer say that he had to go down there to get the rosters because of that kind of thing going on, so.
Stillwater looking for more. Nice move.
Ooh.
Number 16,
Jeff Wacker, I believe.
I think that's what he said, yep.
So Wacker gets credit for that goal in the 15th minute. Eastridge looking for a counter. They fire a dribbler, and that goes wide left. That was Oscar Lagravere, who had a good look.
He did, but unfortunately I think that dribbler's not going to have enough power to get in when there's so much time for the goalkeeper to go after that ball. But that was their first good chance after watching Stillwater pretty much run the game. Looks like we have substitution happening right now.
And as you know, unlimited substitutions in the sport of soccer.
Good timing too, after Eastridge puts a little pressure on. Take that moment to recenter. Oh, there we go.
Flag stays down. Wacker catches up to it. Has to go behind, and nobody was there.
No, I think he was heading back to Buxel. Just misplayed it off his heel. Uh-oh, nice steal.
And Stillwater able to reassume control, and that was a big defensive play for the Ponies. It won't go down as a save, but that prevents Eastridge from setting up in transition.
Right, Eastridge calling for the hand because it did go off the arm, but it was an unintentional, so they're not going to call that. Really hard to move your arm out of the way when the ball is kicked at you 2 feet in front of you, going sideways, and you're running backwards. No intent at all by the Stillwater Pony player. They're going to
Wacker on the move again. Can he catch up to it?
He can.
Doesn't have a lane, and good challenge by the Eastridge defender. Number 13, Cameron Najafi. Najafi staying with Wacker.
Yeah, he's got his hands full today. That's for sure. He's got a big player who likes to run. But again, we got Stillwater kind of, possessing the ball to the majority of the time. Oh, got to watch out here.
Derek Dopkins will track that down and clear it. As the ball ricocheted off an Eastridge player, and Dopkins alertly.
That's the kind of break Eastridge needs to get in this game. Because the possession is clearly going Stillwater's way.
Hesitation move and a deep ball from Carson Arco. That goes out of play, but as you were saying, Stillwater controlling possession, and when they're not getting caught by awkward ricochets or caroms, their set plays, whether it's a set piece or moving through the field like we just saw, they look real fluid.
Yeah, and you can see the unselfishness too. Number 9 had a play in mind. It didn't get executed, but after he kicked that ball, he went down and looked at his foot, like, oh, come on, it went off my boot the wrong way. Pulls up his sock. He's like, okay, next time I'm gonna thread the needle, because he's got an idea in mind, and he's looking to help his teammates score.
Free kick coming up for the Raptors.
20 minutes.
Deep one.
Ooh.
Just high, and it went off of Dopkins, it looks like, so Eastridge will get a corner, but almost a lucky bounce for Dopkins, because that free kick was headed right for Oscar Lagravere, and if he gets him on the spot, Lagravere's got a header with a wide open net.
Yeah, he put his hand up with respect to that pass. He appreciated it.
Eastridge with the corner. Dopkins, did he get it? Yes! He got the save. Nope, they say across the line. So Eastridge scores.
So he caught it, but he was too deep in the net.
And all the ball has to do is cross the line. So Michael Lundquist will get credit for a goal in the 21st minute. You don't see that often.
No, he was actually kind of mad at himself because he headed it right to the keeper. But how about that? The keeper's in the net. Here comes there. Watch this replay. Hager with a beautiful, beautiful ball here. Wow. Just a matter of positioning. That's amazing. Not a huge complaint from the keeper, so...
Well, it's one of those bang-bang plays.
Yeah, pretty amazing to call it from, because there's no goal cam or anything like that going on. So
no VAR. No VAR, no goal line.
No
cameras.
VAR, but luckily we have Ted on the case. He's going to get us a replay with our next break. You got to love that slow-mo replay, right?
Well, speaking of making a case, that
kudos
last goal,
to the camera work, by the way. Great camera work.
I was going to say that last goal could make a case for GoPros, so we'll just stick those at the stick those in the nets.
Yes.
But as we were saying, a bang-bang play, and Dobkins, he reacted, so there's nothing he could do. Really no fault of his. It was just a well-placed corner, and that was played off a nearly well-placed deep ball to Lagravere. So Eastridge showing some precision ball movement.
Yeah, just under halfway through the half, too, to tie it up.
Here's another angle or another look, and
oh, wow! He see afterwards he reached the ball over the net. No, it was over the line.
Well, you saw Dobkins. His feet were behind the goal line.
Yes.
So I knew it was a possibility. Here's a throw-in for the Ponies. It's a deep one. And I think
keeper punches it out.
Yep, that's Nicholas Wagner, who has had a busy first half between the pipes. This is an intense, all-out first half from these two teams. We saw Stillwater control possession early. We're seeing Eastridge get in some nice plays. This is a really fluid game. Not a lot of mistakes.
No, and Eastridge showing that if we get a small opportunity, we're going to take it. Calling right foot there. Oh, come on. That's a trip from behind, right?
Oscar Lagravere and Peter Leach. We play on.
Here we go.
Wacker looking for Gora Gora. Gora, part of that state championship team from 2 years ago. Spencer Scott, Logan Huber. Those are some of the names you may recall.
Eastridge just wanted to get that ball out of bounds and stop that pressure. Get a moment to reset themselves on defense, which now they're ready.
And you weren't a part of this team yet, Don, but 2 years ago in that state tournament run, rumor has it that U.S. Bank Stadium reported a Pepsi shortage.
That would have been fun to be part of, that's for sure. Oh.
Eastridge will draw the foul here.
No ill intent, but certainly an ill maneuver. Number 15 puts his foot out there.
And he'll get carded.
Yep. Looks like Lagriviere took a shot to the face. Just checking his nose.
Free kick for Eastridge in scoring range. It's Nathaniel Lee. Dobkins deflected.
Uh-oh.
And Eastridge punches it in.
Wow.
It was a loose ball. Dobkins couldn't corral it. And as a result, Oscar Lagravere gives Eastridge a 2-1 lead in the 25th minute. Dobkins unable to control that free kick. And when the ball bounces around like that, it's like a pinball. And Eastridge was able to punch it into one of those bonus spaces.
Yeah, the Raptor hits the flipper and like you said, punches the pinball in. Yeah, Stillwater's got to get that cleared. They wanted to get that cleared. Nobody could get their foot on it. The ball's going to sit that long in front of your net. It's incredibly dangerous. Now the Ponies are down after dominating this game.
And in just a few minutes, it's Eastridge who takes the lead in this battle for first place in the Suburban East. Some ranking points also on the line, and we're going to have another foul on the Ponies and Matt Folden as he got tangled up with Arian Lagravere.
Yeah, he tried to step back and not trip the player, but wasn't able to pull it off.
So Cameron Najafi, a little further back this time. But Eastridge doing splendidly on these free kicks as of late. There was a corner that led to a goal. And then a free kick off a yellow card in striking range.
Ooh, nice.
Good challenge by number 12, Brady Schmeichen.
Yeah, did a great job sliding, stopping the attack, and getting back up. Uh-oh. Oh. Stillwater trying to flick it forward. Can't quite pull it off.
Terrence Vu for the Raptors. We do see Eastridge capturing some momentum here, swinging it in their direction.
Yeah, Leach able to play good defense and get it out of there. Now Stillwater's looking to reset. You can see Stillwater's trying to set up those finesse plays. They're trying to pass it, set up the flick. You got heel kicks. I see that much play going on, and I think to myself that they practice that a lot in their practices, and they think they're really good and have quality control over that ball.
Ashton Johnston, the freshman, trying to dance around number 12, Brady Schmeichen, and he'll be called out of bounds, much to his displeasure.
Yes.
I do know there's an Ashton Johnston among my Twitter followers. I don't know if that's the Ashton who's playing, but you never know who you meet. And Mr. Hyphen, yes. Stillwater resetting. Gotta be careful.
Ooh, that looked very lackadaisical. We have a player down on the field.
He gets back up. That's Oscar Lagravere, but Ashton Johnston, he was locked in, hoping to catch Stillwater off guard, and he was a step behind from executing.
Good defense there by Stillwater, but turn it over immediately again.
Gora clears it.
Sets up the run.
And if nothing else, that gives Stillwater a breather. And speaking of breathers, did you know that I'm now followed by a hyphen?
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to say, my response to that is exclamation mark.
Apostrophe, question mark. I'm wondering if I would ever be followed by the semicolon. I think that would be the ultimate punctuation achievement.
Yeah, I guess I agree with you, period.
Folks tuning in just now are wondering what is up with these two.
Yep, grammar nerds are happy. No one else is. There we go.
11:38 left. Stillwater looking to even this game
Oh.
after a pair of Eastridge goals in the span of 5 minutes.
Oh. Bucks will kick the ball back toward the middle of the field. Was not happy about not being able to get by the defender. Definitely ready to go forward.
Substitutions for the Raptors. Number 14, Alexander Baker. Number 14.
All right, let's see Stillwater. They're trying to string some passes together. Let's see if they can do that.
And a foul on the Raptors. This could be the break Stillwater was looking for. They'll get a free kick on the attacking side of the field.
I think it is the break they want for sure.
And early in this half, we saw some well-placed balls on free kicks. Their set plays stringing together.
Yeah. 16's out of the game, but he's somebody that they like to key on. 19, I'm looking to see if the ball goes his way for a header.
That's Gora. They were going his way.
A little bit too deep, yep. But you can
Wagner.
see they like keeping him in mind.
Wagner gets the stop. And Jeff Wacker, who scored the lone goal for the Ponies so far, on the bench. He's subbed out.
Oh.
We could have.
Now, he didn't touch him.
And the official is waving off. Looks like we are going to have a foul. And perhaps a yellow card.
Let's see. Quite the delay on that call. I think he's going to talk to him.
You saw the official wave his arms, I believe, to signal no foul, and he is now signaling roll the clock. So Nick Wagner and number 8, Liam Kilkelly, brushed against each other. Wagner thought it should have been a yellow card or a foul, and Kilkelly will get hit with a yellow.
I mean, he was trying to aggressively get to the ball, and it turned out he got there about the same time as the keeper. He did lay off. He tried to get out of the way. But I think the goalie trying to maneuver around him really was the cause of him to come down. That's my take on it.
And so now the official signals to start the clock, which...
We'll start at some point, right?
Yep. There we go. So a yellow card to Liam Kilkelly for the collision with Nick Wagner. Wacker and Gora back out on the attacking side for the Ponies.
Nice quality pass.
That could set up Ashton Johnston. Did what he could there. Ball bounces behind the net. Johnston not happy about that shot. I think he didn't like the shot selection or thought he shanked it, but he was opportunistic.
He was looking to do what he's been trying to get by the defense and finally got one through. There we go. They're going to call that. He knew it. Lee instantly knew that, yeah, I did have my hands on his back and I did get caught.
You can't push off that much.
No, I mean, it's funny. I think as you get better, you learn how to do that more subtly. You learn how to tuck and let go of the jerseys. It's pretty amazing to see how good these guys get at trying to find an advantage.
Eastridge aiming for the clearance.
Najafi did a great job getting the ball out of there. But Stillwater's still pressing again.
Nobody in the middle of the field, so Eastridge takes possession. Johnston against number 14, Jacob Ralston. And that will be Stillwater ball.
Johnston certainly has aspirations. You can see he wants to finesse the ball by people. He wants to just be able to tip it back to himself. If he figures out how to do that, watch out. He's already got the idea in mind.
Stillwater on the move.
And yeah, he's a freshman, so you're going to see years of that in the future.
That was Riley Buxell on the attack. And Stillwater will get another corner here. Their second.
And they seem like a team where the set plays are more to their advantage, so. Well, I don't think it's going to be a corner. Looks like it's going to be a throw-in on the side.
Thought it was a corner, but it was deflected. Deep throw-in. That was Peter Leach, number 13.
Yep.
On the throw-ins. Just one corner so far for both teams. Eastridge able to convert one into a goal.
There you go.
Goro with some fancy footwork. Shaking through the defense and a deflection by Ji-Hoon Yu.
Yeah, you saw that coming. He knew what he was doing. He wasn't going to let his opponent get a good shot at his keeper. Throws a little deep. Stillwater looking to, oh, little push. Goro just got a little bit out of sorts there. They were trying to set him up. Wacker took the shot.
Maricasel with the dribbler. Eastridge clears it away.
But you can see that Stillwater keeps setting things up. Very unselfish team play so far.
Gora takes a stab at Nick Wagner. 5 minutes left in the first half. 2-0. 2-1, I should say. Eastridge over Stillwater.
Yeah, Arco's got to be a lot faster if Gora is trying to pass that ball to him. He's just got to lay off it a little bit, I think, not so deep so that Wagner can't get to it as the goalie. We have a substitution coming. Yep. Boy, 4 minutes left here, 4.5 minutes left, and you've got Eastridge down here looking to go up 3-1. This could be a pretty big throw-in right here.
The Raptors have not scored more than twice in a game this season.
Ooh.
Wacker and number 13 of the Raptors, Cameron Najafi, hit the turf. Dopkins will track that ball and scoop it up. Got to make sure you get your hands on it, otherwise an Eastridge player is going to try to pounce on it.
Absolutely, they're very opportunistic, the Raptors are.
Johnston.
Oh, that's what he likes to do. See, that's the idea that he has.
Able to keep the ball in bounds.
And go through his opponent's legs. But Stillwater has the discipline to have a player behind there. But I'm going to guess, as a 9th grader, he's seen lots of opportunities where he turns around and he's gone. And he gets a free shot at the goalie. Couldn't get control of that one, though. So Stillwater has 2.5 minutes here to work with. They want to try to equalize before halftime. And I said 2.5 minutes even though it was at 2:43 because I knew it was going to take 10 seconds to run and get that ball. Like you said, difference for 2020 is you don't have someone standing there to throw you another ball.
Or a designated ball kid like you're accustomed to seeing with the soccer mitches.
It's interesting that you don't put your bench to that use maybe, or like your JV or something, but it does add a strategic element.
I think the JV game is going on right now.
Is it? Okay, good.
On the fields behind Pony Stadium. Free kick delivered by Alexander Hager.
Good job by defense. Here we go. Raptors hold. Good job.
Hager fires, and Dopkins got a piece of it.
Woo! Diving save. Unbelievable. Great job. He got just enough of that to have it go outside the post. Here's another look at it.
It will be a corner for the Raptors. They'll have about a minute when they get set up here. Less than a minute. Eastridge taking their time and again using the clock to their advantage. Not in any hurry to put this ball in play.
No. 1 minute left. They'd love to go in with the lead. It's a great way to secure it.
Here's Hager with the dribbler. Eastridge will try from deep. And Josh Tong overshoots the target.
I like the idea that you're going to paint the corners like Hager was trying to paint on the side on his shot, but that shot was not getting there.
A little surprised by that set piece with how much success they've had going up front.
I
Getting
agree.
to the middle. Their last goal came on a pinball carom effect. Here's Gora Gora. Ponies with 15 seconds. Gora tried to go left, but a couple of Eastridge players intervened.
Yeah, they knew he was coming.
So that will take us to the end of the first half. Fluid ball movement and a couple of favorable bounces for the Raptors give them a 2-1 lead over Stillwater in this battle for first place in the Suburban East. We'll show you how those goals were scored when we return.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Phenomenal coaches at Stillwater High School.
And one of the hardest workers, won the workout award numerous times.
You know, the Stillwater team is where I really got into the racing side of skiing. It's where I learned how much I love team.
Join Mike Peden and Ted LaRue for Ponies All Access. Season recaps and stories of the players and coaches that make pony athletics great. Catch All Access on Xfinity Channel 15 and on the Valley Access Channel's YouTube page. For more than 40 years, Joseph's Restaurant has had your favorite pies and been a can't-miss stop for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But have you stopped in lately to see what's new at Joseph's? A new and improved bar area is great for meeting some friends or watching the game. If you're a little toasty inside, come outside on the patio at Joseph's to enjoy your meal in the fresh Minnesota air. Whether past or present, Joseph's is the place to be, right off Highway 36 in Oak Park Heights. There are so many great stories to tell within our school district. Inside 834 tells them all.
Ask more questions and learn more stories.
It's just unbelievable.
Quiet ride now. Back in the day, they'd always be talking, moving around. Now it's really very quiet.
I loved playing the piano. I started in 5th grade.
Watch Inside 834 on Xfinity Channel 15 and on the Valley Access Channel's YouTube page.
Back here at Pony Stadium, Eastridge leading 2-1 over Stillwater in high school boys soccer. The battle for first place in the Suburban East Conference. Mike Peden and Don Ackerman with you. And Don, set pieces, a crucial part of the game of soccer. Eastridge executed 2 flawless set pieces in the middle of the first half to take a 2-1 lead after Stillwater scored first. Let's check the highlights. Not yet.
We'll check the highlights shortly.
We'll check the highlights shortly. But what would you make of the set pieces in the first half?
Really, I mean, Eastridge had limited opportunities, made the most of them. Stillwater had the ball most of the time, and you can see right here. That was with the ball just sitting there open. No one could get it on defense. The Raptors put in the net.
That was the goal scored by Michael Lundquist. Stillwater got one of their own early in the first half, thanks to Jeff Wacker, and here is the corner. And an unusual goal, as you saw,
Right.
Oscar Lagraviere delivered the corner. Derek Dopkins grabbed it, but he was behind the line. Didn't realize where he was. Nice save there to keep it 2-1. But a little bit of ingenuity and luck on the part of Eastridge. And we mentioned this is a battle for first place. As you can see, Eastridge, one loss on the schedule, but they do hold the first position over Stillwater. So if the Raptors can get a win over the Ponies, that would go a long way in this condensed season to get them that first seed because of the potential conference playoff tournament. So this is a big game.
Yeah, there's no future plan that you know of, but you still want to win these games. You still want to win your conference. If there is no postseason tournament, winning it outright would be a feather in your cap, if you will. So you want to get that. And Stillwater definitely would love to put another loss on Eastridge and get themselves in the win column. And they dominated that first half, but were not able to get their opportunities to get into the net.
There were also 2 yellow cards issued to Stillwater in the first half, including one to Liam Kilkelly when he collided with Eastridge goalie Nick Wagner. So you have that to contend with. Now, usually you don't see it progress to a red. I have seen it in past Stillwater games, but you saw the Ponies, and this happened with the Mounds View game as well. They get out to a strong start. They have a little trouble sustaining that energy as the half moves along. What would you like to see out of Stillwater in the second half as they try to work their way out of this 1-goal deficit?
Well, I mean, you go into the locker room and I think, well, you take it to the sidelines, if you will, and you want to talk about how you were able to hold them off as they were trying to make it 3-1. You were able to hold them off there, but I think they have to continue to attack. They have to continue to push it. They have 16 and 19 as their offensive weapons that they need to use, and they got great ideas. They just need to have a couple of them come together. Will the wind, a little bit of wind on their back, help? I don't know. They were going into the wind a little bit. I think early on it didn't cause them problems. Later on, you still saw some balls going deep, so maybe they were trying to compensate for that wind. So maybe it'll be a little bit easier. Maybe they'll go less, maybe they can put less effort into it and let the wind carry the ball more. I don't really know how they're going to change that, but I think when they're aggressive, that's when they're playing their game, and you want to be playing your game, win or lose.
2 corners for the Raptors, 1 corner for the Ponies. And Don, this may seem obvious, but if you're the Ponies, you can only do so much about corner kicks, but playing a clean defensive second half will be crucial because it was set pieces, 1 from a corner, 1 from a free kick that set up the Eastridge goals. So if I'm Stillwater, I try to be a little more mindful because you don't want to give Eastridge another chance on a set piece play.
Yeah, and you see them keeping 3 defenders back too. They also don't want someone leaking out. So they're definitely protecting against that as well. So I think that's something that they have in mind to make sure they keep the game close. Like I said, I expect them to come out being aggressive and using that little bit of wind, seeing how they can push that to their advantage. They do want to go down the field. I think they need to do that more. That's more in their set game. Eastridge, if they have time, they're going to converge. They're going to put 2 defenders on you as soon as you get close. So I'd watch for that.
A lot to watch for in the second half. It was a high-flying first 40 minutes. We'll see what the second 40 brings us when we return.
Look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
strawberries? Okay.
Second half, ready to start at Pony Stadium, and one quick clarification. The 2 yellows on Stillwater, we mentioned Liam Kilkelly, he got one in the 31st minute. John Wacker, he got one in the 15th minute, or the 25th minute, I should say. That's what set up the free kick that allowed the Eastridge goal back in the first half. So Wacker and Kilkelly have yellows. And Jeff Wacker has a goal for the Ponies. Michael Lundquist and Oscar Lagravere have goals for the Raptors. Again, the Lundquist goal coming off of the yellow issued to John Wacker. Mike Beaton and Don Ackerman with you. And if you're watching this live on VAC TV, free of charge, I might add.
Oh!
Well, Eastridge taking charge in the second half, and
good turn and
one
shot.
of their players may have paid the price for it. That was Michael Lundquist, and he is holding his head. I don't know if we got another look at that or not, but slow to get up.
Clearly, if you're the coach, you want to check on a player who's holding his head. Eastridge getting their 3rd corner of the game.
The clock did stop for an injury timeout, so I'm guessing Lundquist will have to sub out.
Now it's coming out, yep.
Yep.
First score, credited number 10, Oscar Lagravere, with the assist of 14. The second goal has been assisted signing Eastridge number 22, Mike Lundquist.
I think the referee making sure that that substitution does occur, and that the medical staff is going to talk to the player who's holding his head. Good to see the protection of the players happening.
We are awaiting a free kick from Nathaniel Lee via corner. Eastridge cashed in on a corner kick in the 25th minute.
Yeah, tell the goalie to get out of the net. Bad joke.
Well, I don't think you'll have to remind Dawkins. Let's see what Lee does this time. Goes for the back post, and Stillwater heads it away, but we're going to have a corner in the other direction.
Yeah, Nafaji couldn't get to that one, but he was the one they had in mind. Great idea, because it went over everybody. There was a window there. Just need to get somebody in it.
And this will be Ryder Sikowicz. And that's deflected, I believe, by Wacker.
Yeah, headed strongly out of there.
Jeff Wacker with authority. I was going to say, if you are planning on watching both doubleheaders, due to COVID precautions, the girls' game will start at 7:30. Usually, in normal times, whenever we get back to those, the second game will follow about 20-25 minutes after the first one, but they need time to clean the benches and other high-frequency areas. So there will be a short pause while they get the field cleaned, disinfected for the girls, and then we'll have the girls' game between Stillwater and Eastridge at 7:30, and those two have met in the section final for 3 straight years. Stillwater has won the last 2 meetings.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun to watch too.
And these two, of course, have some history. Last meeting in the section final 2 years ago. And we'll see, as you noted, Don, no idea, everyone in this guessing game, what the playoffs will look like. The high school league hasn't made any official announcement regarding postseason tournaments, so we don't know if there will be a section or state tournament bracket in this sport. A lot of it will depend on what the situation looks like as far as cases and health is concerned.
Yeah, they must be using some criteria. It'd be nice to know what that is. It'd be nice to know the timing, at least to know what places they've reserved. But I think it's easier not to say anything, then you don't have to cancel anything.
Well, when the ultimate answer to a lot of questions is we don't know, that makes it tough. And I was talking about this with you and some others before the broadcast. I know a lot of folks love to dunk on the high school league for various reasons, but they are in one of the toughest positions of any sanctioning body, because no matter what choice you make, someone's going to get angry. And in normal times, usually people love to throw gripes at how they see tournaments or how they run things, and now it's should they play, should they not play? We got a free kick coming up for the Ponies. You know, I'm sure they've come across a few messages on Twitter and the other social channels that you probably don't want to repeat on air, but it's a tough position, and they're just doing the best they can.
Yeah, I'm glad that the seniors get a chance to play. You obviously have some kids here trying to prepare for college, get some scholarships, so the chance to play is a big deal to them. I mean, really life-changing. So I'm very glad that there are games, and I hope they can continue. So far, this second half, it's really been split. Stillwater hasn't put any good pressure on. Eastridge seems like they're getting a little confidence with their 1-goal lead. And you really didn't see a change in the first half, I don't think. I don't think Eastridge played any different from the beginning of the game all the way to halftime, or just before halftime. But now they seem to be playing more on their end of the field on offense. Stillwater still hasn't strung it together yet in this second half. I think that hit his elbow. They did not call it.
Challenge by the Ponies. Flag stays down, except that's Eastridge's end, or the attacking end. Got my sides crossed for a moment. Stillwater kicking into the wind, although the wind has tapered off considerably compared to the start of this one.
Yeah, absolutely. The flags are fluttering a little bit, but certainly no sustained gusts. This is what Stillwater needs.
Throw in. And deflected. Jeff Wacker can't catch up to the ball in time.
Little Hardy just lets the ball go. Frustrating because he really wanted to get to it. Be easier now for Wagner. Just cue it up and not have to worry about having a Stillwater pony coming after him.
The Whackers trying to hook up with each other. Both seniors, Jeff and John.
Yep, look at the urgency. As soon as the ball gets out of bounds, John and Jeff are yelling, ball.
Throw in by number 13, Peter Leach. A little too deep. Fulton can't catch up to it.
Yeah.
Eastridge will clear it away. Stillwater, number 10, Riley Buxell, chases it down and fires a dribbler. Over to Wagner. But did you see Stillwater trying to dial up the pressure on offense? Good challenge by the Ponies. That gets them possession again. Here's Arco.
Oh, he was looking for one of his teammates to be there.
Fulton is there. Pass a little too soft. Arco can't catch it, and Eastridge will clear it.
Yeah, Arco wanted him in there sooner, and I think that's the trick with when you have such an unselfish team and you're really passing, you're looking at passing it to each other. Obviously, there's ideas of like, I'm going to have a teammate could be right there, so I'm going to tap it back. And you don't really know who was in the wrong on that one, but he really looked surprised not to have his teammate sitting there back there getting ready to pass it forward again. Good run by Eastridge here.
Arco keeps it in play. Now he trots upfield, finds Wacker, looking for Buxel.
Gorgor's pacing in the middle.
Got to make sure you're not offside, of course.
Yep.
That may be why Buxel hesitated.
Yeah, Gorgor was timing his run with that in mind. Eastridge looks like they feel more comfortable right now with this game. That goes off the pony.
Eastridge on the move.
Yeah, good job dribbling down. Didn't have a teammate there to really kick it to. Stillwater really not putting anything together yet, but they are able to get down the field a little.
Derek Dopkins puts a stop to that Eastridge attack.
Yeah, it was a really nice ball over the middle. Probably just a little too deep because his teammate couldn't get to it before the keeper. Oh, good opportunity there. Number 9 could have tapped it forward. If Arco could have tapped it forward, Wacker was ready to go. He had the whole left side of the field to himself.
There's Ji-Hoon Yu.
Uh-oh.
Camcor was calling for it. Yu passes it back. There's Josh Tong. Just right. Another close call.
There does seem to be like less energy, so I think it's a good call. Someone yelling for energy. I think Stillwater really needs a goal to get fired up.
Josh Tong almost gave one to the Raptors. That would have been huge as they look to assume control of first place, and they're only playing a 9-game regular season before the conference tournament, if we do have one. So a win by Eastridge would give them the inside track to the 1 seed. And again, with no real idea on how sections or state would play out, as that goes out of bounds and heads to Eastridge. Well, you're seeing urgency and a will to win no matter what, because if there are section and state tournaments to be held, you know, these wins will rack up with QRF and coaches' votes, so there is seeding at stake.
Ashton Johnston, number 15.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think somehow Stillwater just seems a little out of sorts. So you hear people yelling for energy, and and when I'm watching them, they look a little slower than they did in the first half. Now they really haven't had like those breaks like Eastridge has got, and maybe that's weighing on them. I think if they can get a good opportunistic thing to happen for them, you could see a huge boost. You can see the ponies really get fired up. That's what I'm watching for.
Arco lobs it wide left.
It's a decent idea, but not a really strong threat. There's still a lot of time left. We still have more than 26 minutes left to play.
Well, and you've got some options. Jeff Wacker, he picked up his 4th goal of the season. Matt Fulden has 4 goals. Carson Arco and Gora have a couple, so it's not like Stillwater is a one-trick pony on offense, no pun intended.
No, good one.
Raptors looking for the cross, and just a little behind there. Terrence, who needed another step on that.
Yeah, the ball got over one of the Stillwater defenders, and almost probably wasn't expecting that to happen. Tried to chase it down and couldn't get to it. Ball goes over the bench. Stillwater still trying to get a little bit of possession here. Get some things connected. Coach still has some agility. Was able to get that ball as it went out of bounds. Oh, there you go.
Gora.
Yes.
To Sebastian Arco. Tough angle on the cross. Bicycle kick by Gora. He whiffs it. Misjudged the ball ever so slightly.
Well, that might get things going here. Some good opportunities there. A little bit of energy.
And you saw the crowd get into it. Or I should say heard the crowd get into it. They liked that set up by the ponies, even though they weren't able to get a clean shot out of it. And now the Raptors hoping for a counter.
Good defense there.
Another collision, this time with Gora, and we may get another yellow. Official signaling to stop the clock.
We're going to have a conference here, looks like, before we have a issue judgment.
Well, the head official talking with the line judge. You saw Gora make contact with Nick Wagner. Nick, he's been banged up in this one, taking contact all over the place. And now Gora having a conference with the official. No yellow that time, so
okay.
The line judge must not have seen anything malicious enough to warrant a yellow. Yeah. And that's a break for the ponies. They already had 2 yellows in this one.
Right. Yeah, Gora is definitely trying to be opportunistic.
And Gora had a yellow card in the game with Mounds View. Now, I don't know how yellows work in regular season play. I know in tournaments you have to sit out the next game if you take 2 yellows by a certain point, and then they reset. So we have a stoppage in play, and Jake Smothers is minding the Stillwater bench. The trainer is taking a look at one of his players now. Jake Smothers with the state championship 2 in 3 years, 2016, 2018, and came close to a three-peat. Fell to Wyzetta in the 2017 final at US Bank Stadium.
All right, looks like everybody's okay. We can get the game back on. Good idea. Eastridge just looks like a different team in the second half. So does Stillwater.
Josh Tong. I think I heard some Stillwater players yell, "Riley, drop back." Johnston, can he catch up to it?
Yes.
Almost. That won't count, in case you're wondering. Johnston almost caught up to it, but Stillwater gets there just in time to stop Johnston, the freshman, from potentially making this game 3-1.
Schmeichen came in just playing good defense like he has most of the game. Guess there's times I feel like Stillwater can just slow it down a little bit. They don't have to play so fast.
Johnston was lurking behind the back line there.
Gora looking to pick a pocket, but there's none to be picked.
Now the Raptors trying to set up another odd man chance. They get it, but Josh Tong wasn't able to get the ball past Derek Dopkins.
No, pretty much kicked it right to him.
They'll tell you, though, take the shot, even if it seems cliche or obvious. You never know. It might take a weird bounce. Goalie might misplay it.
There you go. Wacker feeds it forward.
Ponies could use a goal, and they get it. Gora. Or as I like to call him, Scora.
Scora.
We've mentioned his name a lot because he is this dynamic.
Watch this replay. Look at, he's going to place it. Goalie's in great defense, but he puts it in the side net for the goal.
Gora dekes through 2 defenders and evens us up at 2 apiece in the 59th minute.
Now we should see something happen here. Now we should see some up-tempo action.
And that goal was all Gora. He created that himself, and that was why he got the chance to play for that Minnesota United development program last year.
Well, Wacker fed him really well, too, so he had good teammate help there.
Now, we still have a ways to go, but just like the last time, if you haven't followed soccer or if you missed our first broadcast, there are no overtime sessions this year. If the game ends in a tie in regulation, then it will end as a tie, so there will be no overtime periods in regular season play.
Personally, I'd kind of love a shootout, but that's just because I worry about, with so many ties, are you going to have the tough ability to have a tiebreaker if you decide to proceed with something in the future?
Well, and I think with the way the playoffs are set up, ties don't matter as much compared to MLS or a group stage play in the World Cup,
right,
where a win gets you 3 points and a draw gets you 1.
Yep.
Because every team gets seeded in the section.
Yeah, I was just thinking with limited games, a tie could be more of a factor.
Oh, it will be, and in some cases they have played a part in section seating. In normal times, Stillwater a couple of years ago had to travel to Eastridge because they drew with White Bear Lake, but Eastridge, they don't care about a tie. Good challenge by number 12 of the Ponies, Brady Schmeichen.
Yep. Good defense as always. Great tackle there.
Alexander Hager, he had his sights set on the goal, and Schmeichen able to get the tackle in time.
Yeah, Hager looked like he was about to make a dangerous run, but Schmeichen rubbed him out. In a very clean way, too, I should add. Very great, very solid defensive play.
Well, and I was going to say, ties can play a part. Stillwater, as I said, the girls a couple of years ago, they had to go on the road to play Eastridge in the section final because they tied with White Bear Lake, if my memory is correct, and as a result did not win the Suburban East Conference. And because they're in the same section with Eastridge, that gave the Raptors the insurance to the 1 seed, even though Stillwater may have had a better strength of schedule against non-conference opponents. So, you know, with these two, Eastridge leading the conference, looking to maintain that. Deep ball off the crossbar. And we have a whistle. Josh Tong going, "Are you kidding me?" Here's another look.
Hager does an amazing job to get the ball back there.
And I'm guessing Tong got called for the foul when he made contact with Derek Dopkins. As you know, Don, the keepers get a lot of leeway.
They do, yeah, because Dopkins definitely initiated that contact. Ooh, that was close.
Stillwater looking for the leak out to Gora Gora.
There you go, to Wacker. See that kind of unselfishness right there.
I do think the Gora Gora goal lit the match for the Ponies as far as their morale.
You can see, yeah, I knew something had to happen for them to get the boost, and you saw it happen. And then, again, you see that slowly, methodically, trying to set it up, being unselfish. Look at this.
Folden's kick deflected.
There you go.
Sebastian saying, "I got it down line." But so does number 9, Nathan Ravikumar.
Yeah, I think he said it so early that Ravikumar heard him.
Oh, we got a shoving match.
That's a long foul. Wait. Ref the 2 arms in the back.
And you can guess what the Stillwater fans think about that.
Yes. You don't have to guess. You can hear it. Love the audio. Great job, Back TV, for having solid audio that makes this game enjoyable to watch and listen to.
No artificial crowd noise here.
No, it's the real thing.
And Ted is dreading the prospect of having to put in crowd noise if it comes to play. And we're going to have a stoppage here. Now, time is running, so they're trying to stretch Ravikumar as much as they can without, well, now the clock stopped at 16:15, so he'll have to come out for the injury timeout. But you saw Michael Lundquist going over to help his teammate.
Yeah, I think one of the things the referee doesn't want to have, he does not want things to escalate, so I think he went over to talk to one of the players. It did get pretty violent down there in the corner with nothing happening. Now we're going to have the coach and the trainer come check in.
Yeah, and Ravikumar still grimacing that right leg, so it was pretty clear you would need a stoppage in play here.
Right.
With 16:15 left in the second half. A reminder that the girls' game will start at approximately 7:30. So you can stay right here if you're watching this live on Facebook, YouTube, or on Channel 15. We'll keep the live stream going for you. And
well, some of my favorite commercials come on during that. I actually really like the strawberry commercial that comes on. It's got good music, a good message, very entertaining. Makes me smile every time I see it.
Makes me think of a certain Beatles tune.
Yeah. I knew there'd be a music reference, Mike. That's one thing that I've missed during the pandemic is no sports, which means no music references from Mike Peden except on replays.
Or in simulated broadcasts. I resorted to that over the spring and summer months without any live sports. Now, this is our last scheduled live broadcast for the fall season. And again, it's a short season with just swimming and soccer, I should add. We have another swimming broadcast or more. And I was going to say, if you want to follow up, if we announce any more broadcasts, just follow us on Valley Access TV on Twitter, on Facebook Valley Access channels. We're all into social media, so
I think that's more important nowadays than ever with not knowing for sure what the future holds. Keep an eye out for tournaments, extra broadcast opportunities. Novak TV loves providing you local sports as often as they can.
But you're right, it was a long spring and summer period. Of course, we didn't get to bring you lacrosse, baseball, or softball this past spring. Hopefully we'll be able to do that. Now, the way the high school league has it set up right now, those sports would get pushed into the summer months, which could make things real interesting. You could have lacrosse, baseball, and softball in May, June, July.
That is amazing. It's like having hockey right now. It's just strange.
Well, on the bright side, you won't have to worry about snowouts.
That is true.
We've had snow mid-April. It's reliable. Around mid-April, around tax day, we usually get some snow events in the last 3 years. A couple of years ago, it was the winter that would never end.
Good throw in by Stillwater, but no players there to take it. Stillwater got the corner they wanted, though. Now you get that 20-second runoff as the ball is retrieved.
Second corner for the Ponies. This is Matt Fulden. Big corner. Wagner gets in there. And Eastridge could go on a counter.
Well, Stillwater brought everybody to the net, so there is room to run as they are on the other changing sides of the field.
Back line gets set up. This is Hager with a dribbler to the middle.
Wow.
Got it!
Oh yeah, it is Dance ready to go.
I don't think Eastridge was happy about that score. They don't look happy enough to me.
No.
That was Oscar Lagravere off a great dribbler feed. He picks up his second goal of the game, and Eastridge retakes the lead 3-2.
Hager has a great ability. You can just see it offensively, whether he's shooting for himself or setting up his teammates there. That was an amazing opportunity for Oscar to turn around and take that shot.
Throughout this game, every time Hager touches the ball, especially on the attacking side, there's a sense of anticipation. You get a dose of excitement wondering what is he going to do with it, because as you said, great at setting up his fellow comrades.
Yeah, and Dobkins really didn't have much of a chance. Sometimes you can kick the ball and put it right where no one can get to it, and I felt like that's exactly what just happened there. Dobkins has some great saves, but on that one, he really didn't have much chance. And Stillwater really wants to equalize now.
They got one before with Gora Gora. They certainly could do so here.
You can see some urgency, I think, in their step right now.
Fulden deflected by Stikowicz. Johnston. He's been looking to put a stamp on this game a couple of times, almost had a chance there.
Oh yeah, he's looking to turn it burn all the time. I think once he figures out how to put that together, I mean, he's a freshman. I see a lot of opportunity. He'll be somebody to keep an eye on.
Another throw in for the Ponies. This is Riley Buxell, but instead he'll go to Peter Leach.
Yeah, you see they're going to try to move forward. They're trying to bring everybody forward.
Well, there is a growing sense of urgency for the Ponies. A win makes it a tight race for first in the Suburban East. A loss would give the Raptors the inside track because there's only 4 games left in this short schedule.
Right.
Ashton Johnston called for the foul.
It's a really interesting situation because number 5 just basically boxed out really well.
Malachi Fick.
He might have misplayed where the ball was going to be, but it didn't matter because he had good positioning. Johnston tried to take advantage of it and was called for the foul. Really was playing the ball better than the person he fouled, but that's not what happened. The referee saw that he was fouled. It's a good deep ball. Gora couldn't get to it though, but they were looking to set him up. They're looking for him to have the redirect with the header.
And the third corner of the game for the Ponies. The bleachers are vibrating as we await the set piece from Riley Buxell. Puts it in play. Looking for Gora near the back post, and it will bounce harmlessly out of play.
Yeah, a little deep. And the bleachers get a break. As now Eastridge is going to throw it in. But they're going to turn it over. Stillwater's going to line up for the throw-in. Arco's back in the game, I guess, I heard.
You heard Stillwater say, our throw. And they do set up. It is a Stillwater throw-in. Those field mics giving you a great perspective on this one. Leach with the throw-in, tried to go to the middle, and instead it takes a favorable carom in Eastridge's direction. They can make some moves. Here's Ashton Johnston trying to clear his defender. Johnston has the ball again. A little give and go. Johnston loses it on the challenge by number 3 for the Ponies.
He's not going to get by him, that's for sure.
And that is a key stop for Stillwater. They've got to keep it a 1-goal game to have a reasonable chance of at least salvaging another tie.
Oh. Johnston getting the foul. Just trying to be aggressive. He's trying to get loose. Stillwater defense is frustrating him, I think.
And this isn't a done deal yet. Remember, in the Mounds View game, Stillwater scored a goal in the 77th minute.
They did.
To tie it up.
Oh, here we go. Is he going to be able to get there? No, he's not going to be able to get there.
Lead pass a little too strong.
Buxell couldn't get to it. He sure tried, though. He wanted that ball pretty badly.
And this is the situation Eastridge wants. Because with balls that roll out of play, well, past the touchline, if you will.
Yep, tick, 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 as they say.
They can let time run off the clock.
Let the time go away. We'll take the win. Thank you very much.
Now, once we get to the 5-minute mark, and you may see Eastridge. We saw Mountain View do this as well.
Yep.
As you may know, the National Federation of High Schools put in the rule last year where the team in front, if they make a substitution with 5 minutes or less in the second half, the clock stops.
So you can count on a substitution right about 5:10.
That's what you've seen coaches go to. And again, that rule was designed, it didn't come up a whole lot, but it was designed to take away the prospect of coaches subbing incessantly to run out the clock late in the game.
Sure. I mean, if you can, that's the part of the game is knowing the strategy. So if you see a loophole like that, it's the kind of thing that Belichick is famous for, right? He will find a loophole and he'll live in it.
Or he'll die in it, as Tennessee proved in the playoffs last year.
That is correct.
I think that rule was changed this year.
You still haven't seen Stillwater put together too many passes. They get one or two. They can possess the ball, but they're not able to string anything together like they were doing in the first half.
Eastridge, they've been knocking on the door a couple of times on counter plays. Nothing there for Ravakumar, but at the very least, he eats up a little more time. Here's a deep ball. Gore won't catch up to it. Takes a one hop to Nick Wagner, who has had a busy night.
Yeah, a little too deep there. Yes, energy. Boy, the game sure does favor Eastridge right now. Playing a better game. They've increased their possession.
Eastridge called offside there.
That's a tough mistake too, because they had control. They didn't really need to do that. Stillwater still can't string anything together.
Well, they hand the ball right back to Eastridge. Here's a chance. Like you said, can they string together a series of good passes?
Right.
Gore took a shot. It was deflected by Lundquist.
There you go.
Bucks on the left side, looking for the centering pass, and he almost had Jeff Wacker.
Wacker was ready to whack it in too. Got Wacker, somebody who likes to head it in, so that kind of pass was perfect.
Stillwater making a couple of quick subs. Now the clock did not stop in that situation because Stillwater is the trailing team.
Yeah, and yet also, like you said, it's a quick change versus a slow, methodical, I'll get out there in a second, coach. Oh, boy.
Gore laid off. Might have been offside there. Chest trap. Fires. Too high.
He
wants that one back.
He does. He does. You didn't see Wagner move much either. Can't be any fun to be a goalkeeper when you've got guys just basically shooting fish in a barrel almost. I think if Stillwater can calm down, just put it together, Don't do anything drastic. They've got a chance, but got a player down. We're going to have to substitute.
And that stops the clock with 2:48. Reminder that about 7:30 we'll have the girls portion of this high school soccer doubleheader live on Valley Access channels in this short and frenetic season. This is our last scheduled broadcast, and we will keep you posted on what any postseason format looks like, and that's not a good sight to see.
Not at all. But if you enjoy soccer, I'd highly recommend checking out the next matchup. That's going to be, I think that's going to be just as much fun, and if not more fun, than this game. And this game's been good.
That's Cam Core, who is hopping on the sideline. Not putting a ton of weight on the right leg. Last possession was White.
Stillwater's going to set up defensively. Went off his hand, but that's cool.
You saw
sarcastic
Carson Arco,
comments.
right? Carson Arco was claiming a handball.
Okay, they're going to do the classic thing and kick the ball back to their opponent. One of my favorite things in soccer that happens is that you show respect. You give the ball back where it should properly be. Here we go. Oh.
Oh. Dangerous pass.
Yep.
Dangerous scenario here for the Ponies. Ashton Johnston clears his defender. He may have a look. No, he goes for the cross instead. Hager deflected.
Solid defense.
You wonder if Johnston, if he went for it, could have put the silencer there.
That's
went for the cross to Hager.
Yeah.
And that gave Fulden time to catch up. I thought
Magistad, number 11, just amazing. Amazing job closing in on Hager, who was just getting ready to line it up and just power it into the net.
I think that was Fulden.
Oh, okay.
Still, I'm surprised. Maybe Johnston thought if he got the cross he could catch Derek Dopkins off guard, but a break for the Ponies.
Okay, minute and a half left here.
A break for the Ponies, but now they've got to bum forward. Going for the lob, trying to play the deep ball and set up the offense. No sense defending now.
Right.
Sebastian Arco to Buxel.
I like that play.
Goes for the cross, header, wide left.
No one able to get there. You got a minute left. So in 30 seconds, they were able to bring it down the field and put some pressure on. Wagner's not in a big hurry.
Now this Stillwater team in a rebuilding phase. Last year wasn't maybe the season that some were expecting considering their history of state tournaments, but they have a strong culture, a high pedigree, and Jake Smothers told me a couple of years ago that positive culture pays high dividends for the Ponies even in lean years.
Clock's running.
Stillwater's got to get this off. Fulden lining up for the free kick. 12 seconds. Wagner got a read, and that should do it. Eastridge gets the clear.
Wow.
And they have a clear grasp on first place in the Suburban East with a 3-2 win. What an exciting game. Don and I will be back to wrap up all the excitement in a tight little bow when we return.
The
That's as far as I can get you. No.
Mr. Dennis McDonough.
Two more times. Come on.
It's gonna collect in some kind of a basin up here.
It is just an unbelievable experience and advantage that we're giving to kids.
What an exciting finish, an exciting game, fitting of a first place battle. It was Eastridge who came out on top 3-2 over Stillwater. It's the first loss of the season for the Ponies. They go to 2-1-2. Eastridge goes to 4-1-0, and with 4 games to go, they have the inside track to the regular season Suburban East Conference title. Mike Beaton and Don Ackerman with you. And as we show you the highlights from the game, Don, Eastridge, they were opportunistic. Their ball movement, whether it came on set pieces in the first half or that goal from LaGraviere in the second half, set pieces or odd man attacks, Eastridge capitalized when they needed to.
Yeah, and I think even though it's a highly contested game, there's a lot of respect between these teams. As the game ended, you saw Wacker, who was trying to score, congratulate Wagner on a solid game. They had respect for each other at the end in a hard-fought battle here that Eastridge wins solidly by being opportunistic and having a really solid second half.
They had a solid game overall. It was Stillwater who got the early jump, and then Eastridge took over. Stillwater goals from Gora in the second half, coming in the 59th minute, and Jeff Wacker in the 15th minute. Eastridge got 2 goals from Oscar LaGraviere in the 25th and 67th minute.
The preceding broadcast of
and Michael Lundqvist in the 21st minute. Any final thoughts on this one, Don?
No, great game. I hope there are more games to watch because I'd love to see these two match up again.
Well, if you want to see the Stillwater boys go at it again, they will play Woodbury on Thursday at part of another doubleheader, all doubleheaders this season. But we hope you stick around because the girls of Stillwater and Eastridge will take the pitch, and these two teams have quite the history. 3 straight section finals against each other, Stillwater winning the last 2. So this next game could be a doozy and potential playoff preview. So stick around. We'll see you around 7:30.